Now, what I want to focus on is the concept of the connection between what we say in Moda'ani, where I realized that this concept of mindfulness is something that's not only not foreign to Judaism, it's integral in the whole basis of Judaism. This notion of being able to focus our minds is not only something brought up in Mishnah and in Gemara. You go into the fifth perek of Mishnah Brachot, the very first Mishnah talks about Kovid Rosh, Kavana, all of that is mindfulness. A Hasidim Rishonim used to spend 9 hours a day meditating. I mean, that's a lot of time in your day to be able to sit there and pray. 3 hours you would spend just in preparation, 3 hours doing it, and 3 hours afterwards. It's all about focusing your mind. This is something that's not only not foreign to us, it's something that's integral. And I know it because now when I go into davening more mindfully, these are some of the connections that I've made. The first, Moda'ani. Right away when you wake up in the morning, not only are you thanking Hashem and admitting that He's everything and I can't live without Him, but what are the first things we mention? Reishis Chochma Yiras Hashem. The beginning of wisdom is fear of God. And not only that, Seichel Tov L'chol Oseihem. We also mentioned the fact that common sense, Seichel, is given to everybody. The mind is critical in Judaism. The listing of the next brachos. Asher nosan lasechvi vina. Okay, we gave bina. So we talk already now bina. We already have chokhmah mentioned before anything. We then have all of a sudden, we're now already talking about bina. What's the difference in bina and what's the difference in seichel? Seichel is common sense, as we put it. Bina, from the word bain, it means that we have the ability to distinguish. It's not just so common sense. Now I have to be able to make discerning, the rights and the wrong, bein yom uvein loila. That's what I think that bracha is all about, the ability to give us the understanding that we need to be able to distinguish between right and wrong. And then, all of a sudden, we go into Shemona Esrei. If you want to find another place that talks about mindfulness, what's the first bakasha, the first request that we make? Right after we finish praising God, we then go right into Atachonin liadam da'as. We now make reference to the next level, that we want God, who's the divider up of and gives out the dolor of da'as. We ask for three things there: deya, bina, and seichel. But what's missing? We ask for deya, again da'as, knowledge, like a computer. We just absorb all this information. Bina, as we mentioned, the ability to discern right from wrong. Seichel, common sense. But all of a sudden, the very first thing we spoke about when we woke up in the morning, Chachma, we Ashkenazim, we're not asking for that. Why is that? So let me tell you why. Because we believe that everything is in God's hands. Hakol bidei shomayim, chutz miyirat shomayim. God has the ability to do everything in this world, except one thing. Fear of God is something we have to acquire ourselves. Once that happens, then Chachma has a place to land. But we can't ask for it as a bakasha, because God can't give us Yirat Shomayim, which is the very foundation upon which Chachma is necessary. We can ask for Deya, we can ask for Bina, and we can ask for Seichel. But Chachma, that's something we have to work for. Now, we know we're going through very difficult times now. And I spoke with you yesterday about the notion of how Kel Melech Ne'eman is now being said more than ever around the world because people are davening alone. We all bemoan the fact that we can't do, and we have a right to bemoan it and to miss that we can't do Kaddish, Kedusha, Tachanun, all of the things that we're missing, Birchat Kohanim. But the one thing that's now there that we can't do when we have a tzibur is Kel Melech Ne'eman. Recognizing that God, Kel, is the Melech, he is our king, and Ne'eman, he's trustworthy. He's putting us through a very difficult time now for a reason. We're all back home, time out, time to reflect, maybe use this time to really start learning what davening is, what the words are, so when we come back together, we'll have a better understanding of it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we say in the actual Shemon Esrei on the Rofei Cholim, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Rofei Ne'eman, that term of trustworthy. We need to rely on HaKadosh Baruch Hu's trust and faith in Him, that He's the Melech, and all that's what's happening now is all His. And there's another part of davening that I want to tell you about mindfulness that blew me away when I first noticed this. There is a phrase that we say in davening where we say this concept of that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is HaMachadesh B'tuvo B'chol Yom Tomid. We say it once before with a little different phrasing, Uvetuvo Mechadesh, and that's for another talk why that's switched. But what does that mean in concept? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Mechadesh B'tuvo B'chol Yom Tomid. I always thought that HaKadosh Baruch Hu 5,000 years ago, 5 billion years ago, 5 billion years ago, when He created this world in those 7 days, 6 days He created, 7th day He rested, and then what? Vacation, no? He deserved it. What we say in davening is now that God is Mechadesh B'tuvo B'chol Yom Tomid. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in His humility, didn't just create the world and go away. He comes down every single day and is constantly tweaking it and sees what we need. We needed a change. We needed a break. We needed time to slow down, to become more mindful, to become aware of what davening really means, not have it something we want to rush through because I got to catch a bus, and therefore the davening becomes a tirchut tzibur itself. That's not good. We need to slow down. So now we have time to do that. You have time to say Kel, Melech, Ne'eman, and to recognize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Mechadesh B'tuvo B'chol Yom Tomid. Every single day, in His humility, He Himself comes down and looks to see anew of what needs to be done. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the most mindful. And we need to model that by being willing every day, in fact, every moment of every day. That's what we say when we talk mindful, we talk about non-judgmentally. It's being on purpose in the moment. But non-judgmentally means that I'm willing to re-examine every single day my previous notions. Maybe I need some tweaking. And we need to be able, the same way that God is humble enough, we need to have that humility to be able to look at situations differently, put things into perspective, and for us to be Mechadesh B'tuvo B'chol Yom Tomid. If we can learn how to be able to do that in our lives, especially now, people are doing things so different. There are people who are spending Seder by themselves. Plans that we had, I think every single family is being affected in one way or another with whatever we thought we would be doing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Mechadesh B'tuvo. We may not be able to see always the good, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Yotzer Or Uvorei Choshech, Oseh Shalom Uvorei Es HaKol. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates everything. We are the ones that see the Ra. Sometimes when we step back, we can get to see, and hopefully when this is over, and we get to be able to look at things, we'll be able to be much more knowledgeable, and we'll be able to change ourselves in a way so we appreciate more, and we don't bemoan what we don't have, but appreciate what we do have, and are grateful. I'd like to wish everybody a great day, a healthy day, and a Chag Kosher v'Sameach.